What can you do with a bunch of Dollar Tree bamboo cutting boards? You're about to find out. Let's craft. Jumping into this DIY, you want to grab yourself one of the bamboo cutting boards. You need one of the Dollar Tree easels, and then you need some type of little holder. Now, this is a Scrabble tile holder that I just had because it was a Scrabble game that wasn't complete, but you could grab a board from Dollar Tree. If you have a 1x2, that would work as well. And what we are making is a little phone holder. I found that when I'm in the kitchen and I'm using some kind of recipe or something like that, my big bulky recipe holder is just huge, so I just wanted to make something that would be a little more accessible for my phone. So I started by deciding where exactly I needed the wooden holder to go and where I kind of wanted my phone to fall on the cutting board. Once I figured that out, I did mark at the top of my Scrabble tile holder, my little piece of wood, and I decided that I wanted to paint this 2 colors. So I'm going to grab some painter's tape off at the bottom of the bamboo cutting board. I grabbed some Waverly chalk paint in the color celery, and I painted the larger portion, which will also be the top of my little phone stand. While that is finishing up drying, I grabbed the little wooden tile holder, Scrabble holder, and I painted that white. That's going to be holding my phone. And once that was painted white, I removed the tape from my bamboo cutting board, retaped it so that I could paint the bottom portion again, just using some of this Waverly chalk paint in the color white. With the board being dry, I pulled off the painter's tape, and now I've got this two-tone looking board. Now for the bottom, I wanted to put something down there. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to do words, like maybe recipe or what's for dinner or something like that. But then I decided I just wanted to use one of these stencils. It's a plaid stencil pack, plastic reusable stencils I had in my stash. So the first thing I did was just place down my little wooden holder there so that I could see how much room I'd have for a stencil. Then I picked one of the stencils out of the pack. I applied it to the bottom of this board using some painter's tape and making sure that it was secure and tight against it. And then to help with bleeding, I did go over the entire stencil with a coat of Mod Podge just to kind of help contain that paint bleed. Once the Mod Podge was dry, I went ahead and went in with some gold paint using a stencil brush, and I just dabbed up and down until the entire stencil was painted. The stencil is finished, so I grabbed my wooden piece and some of this Gorilla Clear Grip glue to get that secured to my board. And now it's time to attach the easel to the back of the board. So here I have this Gorilla Clear Grip glue, and you guys know I keep it real here, so watch me do this. Is anyone catching on here as to why there is a problem with this? Yeah, this is what happened.
Oh, no.
Oh, dang it.
Not what I just did. Not what I just did. Absolutely not. Oh my god. Okay, don't do what I just did.
Yep, I glued it on backwards. Had I left it like that, I wouldn't have been able to use the easel. So the glue needs to go on the black portion of this. And if I hadn't realized it another minute or two, because this Gorilla Glue sets up so fast, I would have been doomed. But I did realize it. So I got it fixed. And when you apply this, the main thing you want to do here is just, I would hold up your bamboo cutting board and just make sure that the easel is level with the bottom of the bamboo cutting board. That will ensure that when you do use that kickstand on the easel, it will function properly. I did end up painting the back of this with that same celery green once the easel was attached and dry. And then of course you do want to go in and seal this, especially if you're going to be using it in the kitchen, just to protect that paint and to make it easy to wipe off any food or anything you might get on there while you're cooking. But there you go, you've got yourself a nice phone holder that you can use anywhere in your home. me tell you about today's sponsor, Craftsy. Craftsy is an online community and resource that offers more than 2,000 classes in over 20 categories, including crochet, painting, decorating, woodworking, and many more. The classes are for makers of all skill levels and provide step-by-step instructions, plus helpful downloadable resources to make learning easy. With the holiday DIY season coming up, classes like fall ready decor and projects and sweet and savory gift ideas might be right up your alley. Right now, I am taking 5 classes, one of them teaching the basics of hand embroidery. The bonus guide for this class is a fantastic resource. If you would like to expand your skill set, Craftsy has been kind enough to offer a promo for you. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the video description box will get a full year of the premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. Let me know if you join the Craftsy community because we might end up taking a class at the same time. Now back to the DIYs. For this DIY, you need a good old cutting board and then some type of container. I found this heart one at the Dollar Tree, but you could grab a little glass bowl, whatever you want. We're gonna make a really cute trinket tray. You're also going to need a very pretty fabric. So I had this floral fabric on hand, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this cutting board, but we're gonna use a really easy technique to make it look very nice. So I started by pressing my fabric just to kind of get those creases out. And then once that was done, this is where the magic is going to happen. You want to take some Mod Podge and you want to paint that Mod Podge on wherever you're going to apply your fabric. So I did it on one side of the cutting board along with all of the edges of the cutting board. Let that Mod Podge dry. Once it's dry, take your fabric and your little iron heat press, whatever you have, and just start pressing that fabric down. It's going to start activating the Mod Podge, and it's going to make this fabric stick with no mess, no ick, no glue, it's so pleasant. It's a very pleasant little experience. So I'm going to do that until my fabric is nice and attached, making sure to kind of wrap it around the edges so that I can secure it on the back. For the back, I just secured all of these pieces of fabric down with some more Mod Podge. Now, if you want to finish off the back, or this will be the bottom actually, you could take a piece of cardstock or cardboard and wrap it with some fabric and then just place it down there to make it a nice seamless bottom. But for this one, I'm just not really going to worry about that step. Now you want to grab either your drill or your rotary tool, and on the bottom, about 1 inch up and about 1/2 inch in, you're going to drill 2 holes. This is going to allow us to pull some ribbon through and tie a cute little bow on this board. So I'm going to use some pink velvet ribbon that I had in my stash that I got in a pack from Hobby Lobby, drill my 2 holes and get that ribbon pulled through. The bow is tied at the top, so the last step is just to attach your trinket tray. I am using some Gorilla Clear Grip glue. I'm just going to leave this painted as is. I kind of like the little pop of gold, but you could certainly pick whatever you'd want or even attach a little wooden box, whatever you'd like to attach to this. Once that's on there, my little tray is ready to go. You want to grab some of these wood pieces from Dollar Tree along with 2 of the bamboo cutting boards for this project. What we're going to make is kind of a, I don't know what to call it, a sandwich vase. That's what we're going to call it. And what we need to do in order to get these 2 bamboo boards put together, we're going to use those wooden pieces to do the sides and the bottom of our vase so that we can actually stick flowers in it. So what you need to do is just kind of decide the lengths that you need these boards, and for the sides I did about 6 inches, and then the bottom piece just fit nicely in between. It was about 4 inches, and I just used my miter saw and box, so I ended up with 3 pieces, 2 sides that were the same length, and then 1 shorter piece to make the bottom portion of the vase. I used Gorilla Glue to get my little U-shaped wooden, I don't know what you want to call it, insert attached. And then I made sure to pick up the vase like this so that the 2 bamboo boards were level so that this would sit, weight it down so that this could dry overnight and become really secure. Once that was done, I was like, it needs something else, and I thought adding a lace element to this would look so pretty. So I started with just one piece of lace. I just hot glued it, and I really liked how that looked, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to add a couple of more, and it just kind of made it really, really simple, really, really pretty. This would be a great little piece to use for wedding centerpieces, baby showers. You could put baby's breath in there, some pink roses. I think it would be really, really pretty for summertime. For this cutting board, I started by painting the entire thing in the color Fawn by Decor. I painted the front, the back, the sides, and then I set it aside to let it dry. I grabbed a pack of these wooden candlestick holders that I got in a pack from Hobby Lobby, and taking some brown stain, I coated them with the brown stain and then went back in with a baby wipe to wipe off some of the excess stain. Time to get the stencil applied. So I found a design in Cricut Design Space that I just had cut out on my Cricut Maker, and then I applied it directly to the board. I got some of the Waverly white chalk paint and my stencil brush, and then using an up and down motion, I just dabbed on the paint until I liked how it looked. I did go ahead and go for full coverage for this one. To get this sealed, I used some Amy Howard liquid sealer, and I will definitely have everything linked down below in the description box, so if you have any questions, just check down there. Once it was dry, I was ready to attach my candlestick legs, and to do that, I just used, again, the Gorilla Clear Grip glue to get those attached, and I made sure to let these dry overnight, well, about 24 hours, and then this riser was ready to be used. Here's a DIY from my DIY vault. Now this DIY is a great hostess gift idea. So if you like to kind of get a jump start on hostess gifts, Christmas gifts, those types of things, this would be a great one, and it only costs you $3.75 plus a little bit of torch paste. So for this, I'm using 3 of the bamboo cutting boards, and I just found images in Cricut Design Space. These are fall themed, and I applied my stencils so that these could be little serving trays that you could use for any of your fall gatherings. Once I got my stencils applied, I did go in with the torch paste. I did a thin coat of that, let it sit for 3 minutes, and then I peeled off the stencils. Now, once you're done with that, you have to make sure you are using a high heat gun. The little crafting ones will not get hot enough to burn this. And you just want to go in and start continuously moving your heat gun to get those images burned. Once that's all done, I usually always take a baby wipe and give a gentle wipe to kind of get off any residue, and then you need to seal it. This is important so that you can keep this food safe. I like to use the Howard Butcher Block sealer, and it often goes on better if you warm it up just a little bit, and I typically do 3 coats, let it sit, let it dry, let it cure, and then these are ready to go. You could package these up with a cute little fall knife and tie it up with a bow. This is just such a great idea. You could make a Christmas set, an Easter set, so many different sets, and so cheap to do. For this next hack, it's going to be about making paint food safe on wood DIYs. So I've got this really cute 6-pack of mini fruit pun stencils. This is a great pack if you like to make summer DIYs, and I decided to use the strawberry stencil out of this pack. So first thing to make sure you know is that just because it says it's non-toxic paint doesn't mean that it is food safe. There are paints out there that say they are food safe in the sense that if food accidentally touches it, not like sits on it for a while, but accidentally touches it, that food item is still fine. But even that, it's saying you still have to seal over the paint. So honestly, this is something that I kind of just continuously in my free time, I'm trying to research because I really would like to find the good paints. And that, of course, I will share that information with you when I feel like I've done a really good job researching it. But they do say that Decor is one of the paints that is food safe and accidental contact, I think is what they call it. I can't remember the terminology, but something like that. So that's what I'm using. I'm going to go in and paint with my stencil, just covering up areas with the tape that I don't want, colors to get on. And then once it's dry, I let the paint dry really, really good. I let it sit for 24 hours. I went back in with that butcher block sealer and sealed it. Now this is just going to be a cute little serving tray, so that's why I just went ahead with the Deco Art paint. But like I said, as soon as I've done my due diligence and I've done a ton of research on it, I will definitely share my findings with you. That wraps up these Dollar Tree bamboo DIYs. Let me know down below which one of these was your favorite. Also, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I had a little flood in my house this week. Yeah, it was a whole water situation, and it was due to a faulty sensor in my washing machine. So I would love to know, have you had some sort of water situation at your house? Tell me what happened. Make me feel better about this crazy week that I've had. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Here are some more videos you definitely want to check out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.